You are listening to the Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin. To master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Once you walked in a forest of splendor in which everything you did and everything you thought was aligned. It is possible at this time to begin to return to the old knowledge. Intuitive healer and manifester Julia Griffin is here to talk about this unique time in history when all sentient beings, animals, plants, trees, and the earth are intent on creating this change. The wolves awakened her to the most incredible light, which opened gifts and brought knowledge that she longs to share. You are creators, and you are born to be creators of beauty, possibility, and joy. Join Julia on a journey into a beautiful and magical world where amazing possibilities exist. Let us help open the door. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening with Julia Griffin starts right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Griffin, and you're listening to the Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour, and let us help you experience a higher vibration and a new state of mind. Welcome to the show. I'm very excited because we have a special guest, Blossom Goodchild from Australia, and she will talk to us about the changes on our planet and how to get into a good state of mind through inner knowing and resilience and reliance on light and love. She's a wonderful channel, and I know you'll love her, so let me tell you about her. Blossom Goodchild is a professional direct voice channeling medium working with spirit and cosmic energies. She has been channeling the Native American Indian spirit energy White Cloud for 18 years, and she shares his messages of unconditional love by means of personal readings and group meetings. For almost 20 years, Blossom endured a mystery illness whereby she would fall into a semi-coma type seizure for periods of time. No doctors or scans could find the cause. The day White Cloud introduced himself to her, the illness disappeared and their journey together began. A journey that would take Blossom on a path of enlightenment as she learned to trust herself and her Native American Indian friend as they slowly but surely, together as one, delivered wisdom from higher realms. Blossom also began communicating with the Federation of Light in 2005. These channelings have become world-renowned and are now translated into many different languages. This information can be found in her 3 books, From the Federation of Light, The Bridge, Snapshot, and Plan ET. All the channelings from the Federation are available to read on her website. Blossom continues to receive new channelings from the Federation of Light. In order to keep up to date, you can subscribe to its updates on her website. She's also a professional actress. As she says, performing is her passion. Her channeling is her mission. And you can find out more at her website, www.blossomgoodchild.com. So welcome, Blossom. I'm so happy to have you.
Hello there. How lovely to be back with you again. Thanks so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. So for our listeners who don't know about you, tell us about your calling and exactly what it is that you do.
Well, my calling was that for 17 years I had these sort of weird fits on and off, and I'd fall on the floor and people I couldn't move at all, and they'd call ambulances, and yet I was fine inside my head, but I just couldn't actually sort of move, and then I'd come round and I'd be all right. It was a long story, Julia. And then when I came across a very lovely lady came into my life, and she, I had been doing a bit of healing before, because I'd been very interested in the spiritual movement for a long time. And, a little bit of healing was once or twice a year type of thing. And I became aware of a Native American Indian sort of standing behind me, I felt in my mind. And one time I asked if I could have a name, and I clearly got White Cloud. And so this this lady that came into our lives, she came to stay with us, and I was having a set of these fits at the time, and a white cloud came through to her and said, could you ask Blossom to get a pen and paper, and he would come through and speak with me. And that wasn't madly insane at the time to me, because I'd sort of been into this, meditation a bit, and read quite a few books. And so I got this little book, which I still have now. And I said, well, I believe you want to contact me. And there, lo and behold, contact was made in that way for the first time. And he wrote about 3 pages, I think, saying that we had agreed to do this many moons ago, and if I was still up for it, because it was my choice, then he would speak through me, and we deliver these messages out to the world. And of course I said yes. I thought best to do that, and literally so we began, and literally from that day, Julia, after 17 years of intermittent fits all the time, they literally went away. I've never had one since, and that was, I must correct you, it was entirely my fault that it says 18 years, but that's like 21 years now that we've been doing it. And it's just been the most amazing journey that I could ever possibly have imagined I'd be on.
It is incredible. I love your channelings. One thing I want to point out for our listeners is, I hear wolves and worked with them, lived with wolves for 10 years and learned how to read energy. And people always say, oh, I'd love to have that experience, but I don't think that they know that you have to be open to it. And the other part is you have to agree to do it. Just as you were saying, you had to agree to work with White Cloud. Yeah. And that's before you were completely convinced about everything.
Yeah, I often say I think I must have had one too many sherries with the vicar before I came down here. When I agreed to do all this, because I certainly, I went to drama school since I was 2. That's, my parents were in the theatre. That's all I ever wanted to do. So I never saw this pathway coming. And yes, I believe I must have made some agreement to do this. It feels very much that way. And there's been, along this journey, there's been many times when I've been very close to thinking, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And many people might think, well, why would you feel that? But there's a lot more involved, on this journey. And but then now, and that was, now I just feel like there's no way I'll ever sort of think, oh, I can't do this anymore. Not anymore, because I've sort of come into my own with it. I know where I stand with it. Mm-hmm. I don't sort of, all the knocks that people, might give me about it because it's not their cup of tea. It doesn't scar me in any way anymore. And I sort of feel very strongly on my path now, Julia. It's like, I know this is part of what I came here to do. And, I just, I try my best to do it the best I can. And I do think, for people do sort of, they say, well, how do you do this? And, I try to tune in and get in contact with the Federation and things, and I can't get anything. And it's like, it's really difficult for me to explain how I do it, because I don't know how I do it. It just,
no,
for
it
me,
doesn't exist in ordinary human words.
No, it just is there for me, especially, when I tune in to the Federation, which is a different way from working with White Cloud. They're just telepathically there type of thing. It's not like I have to go and meditate for half an hour type of thing. I tune in, of course, for 10 minutes or something like that. And, it just seems to happen for me. So I'm not very good. I always say I couldn't be a teacher of it, because I don't know. I don't know how it works. I truly, truly don't.
Well, that's enough so that everyone can get an idea. If you haven't read Blossom's channelings or listened to them on her website, they're very wonderful and they're very encouraging. And I enjoy them so much. Now,
Thank
your
you.
latest channeling, you told us that we're still in part 1 of 5 of the clearing process.
Yes.
What could you tell us about that?
Well, let me say this, Julia. I didn't tell you. The Federation of Light told me, because it's an interesting thing that, people write into me and say, what's this and what's that and what's this and they said this and what does it mean? I know no more, in all honesty, than anybody else, because I don't channel the Federation sort of for my own pleasure, at other times. And everything that I channel with the Federation, I post up for people to read. And yes, they have said that since this insanity began in at the beginning of this year, that there are 5 phases to it. I thought they were going to say 3. I thought there'd be 3, but they said no, 5. And truly, I have tried asking them, but I don't know what the phases are. I do feel that by phase 5, we will, I presume, be moving. We will be in such a more glorious position on our planet than we seem to be now. And I do think that, as far as I can feel, as far as I'm aware, that there is a lot. They are very clear in saying that there is a lot more. They call it topsy-turviness. They did say before this started that your world will go topsy-turvy and turn upside down. Well, it certainly has, but they are very adamant, Julia, which, for some people, they find that quite fearful, that there is a lot more of this topsy-turviness to come, because it has to. And I presume they're talking about truths that need to be revealed, that are going to come out. There's all sorts of things, one could say about what we assume is going to happen throughout these different phases. But they have said recently that to take us into phase 2, because a lot of people thought that the rioting was taking us into phase 2 of this, but they've said no, this is still phase 1, and that there would be a huge announcement made that would take us into phase 2. And they've spoken quite a few times about a massive announcement, and this isn't the massive announcement. This is a huge announcement, but I do think that further down the track, they are talking more of an even more, if that's what, major announcement, and they give us no clue whatsoever, because they say they can't. It's not appropriate for them to do so, because it just isn't. And I mean, we can all have our own thoughts about why. And I totally, from my perspective, I totally respect that, because if it's not appropriate to do so, then they're not going to do it. And we just have to remain patient, which I'm sure many of us, like including myself, are sometimes finding very difficult to get ourselves through these different phases, and know that this, they've talked for so long, and White Cloud has, about that we were chosen, we volunteered, and we were chosen to be here on the planet now to see it through to a higher vibration. And, we've all been going on for so long about, oh, come on. And now it's here. And it's very, it's different. No one could have expected this as a starter type of thing. But
okay, so let's hold that thought, because it's time to go to break. Okay. And let me tell everyone, I'm talking with Blossom Goodchild about channeling and what's going on right now with all the big changes. Let's go to break now.
Do you know how to achieve wellness in all areas of your life? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Signs of wellness are a capacity to love and ability to nurture, a sense of purpose, a good sense of humor and plenty of fun in your life, a concern for others and a respect for the environment, a conscious commitment to personal excellence, a sense of balance and integrated lifestyle, and capacity to cope with whatever life presents. Well people enjoy their lives and want them to last as long as possible. That's why the wellness mindset usually accompanies other constructive, healthy lifestyle habits. By adopting a wellness mindset and behaviors like eating well, taking the right nutrition for the body, exercising, and saying affirmations are just a few things to structure a healthy system of values and beliefs. I will be your wellness coach to help you achieve a wellness lifestyle. Call us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
Is traditional medicine not working for you? Do you still feel as if your health isn't 100%? Here at the Holistic Medical Center, Dr. Nushin Darvish and the qualified staff look through the dimensions of wellness and start a healing plan prioritized to your needs. Our physicians assess the whole you until complete health is achieved. Get the help you need by visiting drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Get empowered on transformationtalkradio.com.
The Truth is Funny. Shift Happens with Colette Marie Steffen is excited to welcome Karen Benton as a monthly guest host. Tune in on the third Wednesday of each month at 8 a.m. Pacific Time to regain confidence and trust in your capacity to create change in your life, your health, your family, and your well-being. Karen Benton is a mother, nurse practitioner, certified body talk practitioner, Franklin Method instructor, and owner of Limitless Living LLC. For more information about Karen, visit KarenBenton.com.
Inspire, create, empower. Only on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Griffin at OneTrueSelf.com, ONETrueSelf.com, and you're listening to The Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio, where you can experience a higher vibration in a new state of mind. I'm talking to Blossom Goodchild about the unveiling of the truth and what she calls a topsy-turvy time and how it works with our soul growth. Our soul growth, let me say that clearly, excuse me. Blossom, can you tell us about the topsy-turviness and the energy that we're going through right now?
Well, I don't think I need to tell anybody, really, because I think everybody can feel it for themselves that this, there we were at the beginning of the year, and here we are in 2020, and then out of nowhere, the whole world turned upside down, as the Federation of Light said it would, but not in the way any of us could have imagined. And so I feel that, we have all, I've certainly gone through my anger phases and we all go through different emotions, I think, about all this to find out what we truly feel about all of this. And there's so many, there's so many theories, conspiracy theories, and I'd like to call myself a truth seeker. And at the moment, I find that there is so much, and White Cloud speaks of the rabbit holes, and people go down these rabbit holes to try and find the truth of what is going on right now. And White Cloud very cleverly, very intelligent the other day said, be very careful about what rabbit holes you go down because you don't know who dug them. And I think that is so, because now I've really, at first I think everybody was so into listening to everything they could about everything to try and sort themselves out, whereas that sort of worn off a bit in a way, and we've moved into a different, I say, phase of ourselves, I find. So I went through my anger and I was really depressed for a couple of weeks. And I was like, what is this? What is this all about? Plus, Julia, I have to say that I found myself disappointed in myself because I wasn't being this light and love that we are supposedly here for during this time. So I felt like I was letting the side down tremendously, because I'm the one, who is the Federation of Light and White Cloud's messenger, and I like to try and practice what is preached. And in this situation, I was like, nah, I can't. I really went down a deep, dark hole. But I've come out of that now. And I feel very differently, and I feel a lot stronger. And I think many people are going through these different phases within the self. It's a bit like a grieving process, if you like, but that as time is going on, and they say, it's going to get so much worse. I think at the same time that it's getting so much worse, we as light beings are coming into our strength more and more, so that we're able to cope with it more and more, because we have been told that this is why we're here, and that we will be assisting so many people that are still unaware and still asleep, and those that are aware will be able to, they say, to take others across the bridge, which I'm sure is a whole new question we could talk about, type of thing. So I really think yeah, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I think, first of all, what you're talking about going deeper and getting stronger and connecting with your inner self. If you're interested in light or awakening, it's really the only way to get through it. Because when you do that, you can emit higher vibrations, and you don't feel the lower collective energy so much.
Yeah. And you have to be very careful as well, I think, about what you feed yourself, because if you choose to look into all the negative, and there is certainly some very negative, dark energy around, and if you have your, your media, your TV on or something with the news, with things like that, for me personally, and I do totally understand, we all have our own journey in this. We all have our own way of thinking about things. But I've actually got to the stage where, if they're putting stuff out on the media, I literally have to walk outside now, because it makes me or was making me feel physically sick with the lies. For me, I felt, because I don't feel that we are given the truth on the TV, on the main media type of thing. But then, it really, it's for those I feel that are more aware. It sort of literally can make you sick to your stomach. And I know the Federation always say, you have to be very discerning about what is truth for you and what isn't. Well, that feeling sick is, there's no question for me that is a lie. But then there are other things that I think that I might listen to a YouTube somebody sent me or something like that, and I think, well, let's wait and see, because I really don't know. Right. I can't decipher whether it's truth or not. And I've now sort of been saying to my husband, at the moment, I don't know what I can believe and what I can't. And I think we really need to concentrate now on this reason that we are here, which is, to anchor the light down during these, really, really topsy-turvy times and stuff that's going to come out. This is when this is what we're here for, Julia, and I think, okay, so we've got over the initial shock, and and we sort of got through that, and now we have to sort of say to ourselves, right, come on, put your warrior suit on or what have you, and do what you came to do, because we know better than to fall down those rabbit holes and let it take hold of us, type of thing. And indeed, some of the things we can read or hear about, they are shocking to the very core. And yet we have to accept that we knew all of this was going to come about before we came. And we still signed up to do it. But now we're here, it feels very different. It's like, where's the exit? Different. Show me the exit sign, type of thing, But we really, for myself, and I think many people now, we are moving into a new, don't get confused with the phases, but a new phase of ourself where I certainly am, where I'm recognizing much more of the strength within me of light. And I think really that is all we need to do and all we can do at this point.
So let me clarify, just for people who aren't completely familiar with what we're speaking of. She's talking about a new phase for people who work with the light, who can meditate, who can send light, who are awakened. For us, we're moving into a new phase where we really have to use our abilities and we have to go deeper. She's not talking about the topsy-turvy world there. She's talking about working with the topsy-turvy world with light.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And I know you are aware, and it's lovely that it seems to have taken off so well, in that the Federation have given us, they say it's a coding, which is to say, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. And they say within that, those words, there is coding, which helps to activate us as light beings. And I know from many emails I've received that people are finding it a lifesaver to say that. And it might just sound, to people who are new to it, it might just sound like some words. But when it's become sometimes I can just close my eyes and I find myself for a second, and I find myself saying it. My brain is now accustomed and attuned to saying it. I would say to everybody, say it 1 billion times a day if you can, because it's, whatever situation you find yourself in, or whatever you're feeling, to do with all this and feeling a bit upset, once you just shut your eyes and say, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. Something happens to me anyway, and obviously to a lot of other people, Julia, that it's like a security blanket in a way. It's like it takes you back into knowing why you're here. And you don't have to, you could just say it whenever, whatever you're doing it, just remind ourselves who we are. And I think just that in itself, if anybody said to me, what would you say is the most sort of beneficial thing we can do right now for the planet, for ourselves, I'd say that mantra over and over and over for as often as you can, because there seems to be something about it that is a truth, I guess,
Well, I think if you're saying it sincerely, you have to say it with your heart and your heart chakra. And if we go a little deeper, the whole world is set up on the heart. Like the language that animals and plants and the universe speak, those are all set up on the language of the heart and love. And so I'm thinking that if we're activating that, we're getting universal support. So let's hold that thought, because it's time for us to go to break. We've been talking with Blossom Goodchild about the changes in our world, her very special mantra that we can use to get connected and to find our inner truth. And when we come back, we'll talk a little more about the placement of consciousness that can help us during this time. Let's go to break now.
Stuck in a roundabout of dysfunction? Learn how to speak your truth to power with host Dr. Kathy Obear. Create real change with smart tools and smart strategies. No frills, no fluff, just life-changing conversations to help get you where you want to be. Extend your reach and become an agent for real change with Kathy Obear. For more information on Kathy and her work, please visit drkathyobear.com. That's drkathyobear.com.
Hi, I'm Laura Meeks, and the most common problem that my clients face is all work and no play. This is why I created Fly High Living. I help you develop a balanced life plan and guide you to a place where you love to wake up in the morning.
Call 888-666-1570 or go to flyhighliving.com to sign up for the 4-week Flight Plan for Life course.
What we've been taught and told is not all there is. Life is all about energy, and the energy you feel is real. Tune into the Energy Paradigm each month on transformationtalkradio.com with Dr. Vic. The Energy Paradigm is an eye-opening, mind-shifting, transformative, and earth-shattering way to live, work, and do business that will enable you to unlock your magic every day. Visit theenergyparadigm.com.
How do you feel? Just okay? Well, how about you tune in and get ready to be more with the Healing Hour with me, Doc Martin, every third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. I'm ready for your questions, and I can't wait to help you find the answers. Every month, we'll have a new live call-in show with innovative topics and a powerful hour of healing. To learn more about me, visit DrSharonMartin.com. See you there. I'm going to be here. You won't want to miss it.
Hi, this is Kimberly Carlson, and I would love for you to tune in to All In Healing Radio, where together we will begin to experience health, happiness, and harmony in all areas and aspects of life. Join us every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. on TransformationTalkRadio.com. All In Healing will help you release layers of negative beliefs and energies for radiant health, deep joy, and greater abundance. Visit me at KimberlyCarlson.com.
TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hello, everybody. I'm Julia Griffin at OneTrueSelf.com, ONETrueSelf.com, and you're listening to The Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio. We are talking with a special and wonderful guest about experiencing a higher vibration. Our guest is Blossom Goodchild, and she's going to talk to us about finding the real truth and living in alignment with love and light. So one of the things that you channeled is that we have to know who we are, which I think maybe this is talking about the inner self, or the spiritual part of us who connects to the divine. And we have to remember why we're here. So tell us about remembering who we are and how people who feel lost can remember their purpose.
Julia, sometimes I can't remember why I went into the next room, let alone why.
Let's start with, you said we have to know who we are. And I think that you were talking about the part of us that tunes into love and light.
Yes. It is, it's, the thing is, I understand that I am just as normal as everybody else. And it just so happens that I have this gift that I am able to share. And so I can only speak from my heart, Julia, in that I really am no more wise about all these things than anybody else. The only thing that I can share is that it is to do, when we are asked to remember who we are, it is to do with a feeling. Julia, I hope this is all right, but White Cloud would like to come in if that's all right.
Please, yes, I was feeling that. That's perfect. Yes. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, no worries. Very warm welcome to each one, and I find it always a delight to have the opportunities to share any wisdom I may have with those who are happy to listen. And the reason I wanted to pop in is because regarding this matter of remembering who you are, the way to do that is to feel joy, to feel alive, to feel passion in all that you choose to do. And within that feeling, that when it is that you perhaps walk along a beach or you walk in nature and you feel in touch with something else, you feel a joy that you cannot touch, but you can feel it. And that feeling is who you are. And the more you delve into that knowing, the more it will express itself to you, so you remember more of who you are. I think it is at times that people think, well, should I be remembering a lifetime I had way back when, and when I first came onto the planet, etc.? That is not remembering who you are. Remembering who you are is remembering to feel love. And there is not one person on the planet, no matter what their circumstances may have been, that cannot feel love inside of them, because it is who they are. So somewhere, whether they agree with me or not, they are able to feel love. One can look at a flower and feel love. One can look at the stars, and that feeling that one gets, that overwhelming feeling that sometimes makes one cry, that is love. And that is remembering who you are. It is as simple as that. When you have a smile on your face, my friends, you are remembering who you are. And in these very difficult times, and I do keep saying that there is much, much more to come, so fasten your seatbelts, that to anchor that knowing above everything that you hear or see, or that comes into your awareness that does not resonate on a joyful vibration. Do not allow it to bring yourself down to its level. You keep up on your vibration by knowing that you are this light that is here upon the planet to change all that darkness into the light. And that's all you need to know to do. You do not need, with the greatest of respect, to go down all these rabbit holes. But if you choose to do so, that there is no judgment on that. Some souls have very inquisitive minds. But it does not it is all right to go down the rabbit holes as long as it does not dim your light. If it does, stop doing it. Come out of it and turn your dimmer switch back up. What you are here to do in these times is to keep the light that you are burning as brightly as you can. But I would just say that we that are not within the planet Earth at this time, we of other realms, are aware that you are living in a density that is being dug up. Every thing that you can imagine that is of darkness, and you cannot imagine most of it, my friends, is being shaken up. So remember that the energies that are upon and around you at this time of a negative feel are going to affect you. You are human beings, and you are going to have times when you feel you cannot take any more. But I ask you not to beat yourselves up for that. Just allow it to take place, knowing that the next day or the next hour, something will have brought you back into that light. So do not beat yourselves up, because that doesn't assist anything either. Just allow yourself to flow through these times and do the best you can, knowing the best of who you are. And if that is all right with you, my friend, I feel that I will leave that there, and we can perhaps have another question, and I will hand you back to Blossom. But before I go, I ask you in this moment, everybody that is listening, I ask that for one moment, with me now, you close your eyes and you take a deep breath in, and you see and you feel bright light. all around your planet. Not only do you see it, my friends, feel the love that this light is, and allow it to be absorbed into your being this very moment, and allow it, give it permission to reside within you, because you came here to change this world, to perform miracles, and you are in the beginning phases of doing that very thing. And know that there are many, many, many beyond numbers in other realms that have your back, that are there with you to support you in any way that they can through the most exciting time that your planet has ever known. Many thanks, my friend. Many thanks.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. So part of what we're experiencing is a new world where intuition and light are creating a change. And then the other world, because there is duality, is the darkness that you spoke of that's being dug up. Is that correct?
Yes. That is, I don't know if you're asking me or White Cloud. Yeah, I just think, that from what I'm sure you are aware, Julia, I feel that behind the scenes, and I have no proof of this at this point, but behind the scenes of all this that is we are aware of is so much that is going on that I feel when the correct time is upon us, we will be given those truths. And I feel that they will be quite horrendous, some of them. And I feel that that is when the time will be when we, as light sisters, are really going to come into our own, because the world, I feel, when these truths come out, will go crazy. We think what's happening is crazy now, but I just, from what they're saying, this is nothing. This is nothing. And I think when those truths come out to people who have no idea about what may or may not be going on underneath things that we are, underneath it all, that they will not be able to cope. And so many people say, I know I'm here to bring my light and to shine my light, but I feel I'm not doing anything to contribute. And my words to them are, hold on to your hats, as the Federation always say, hold on to your hats, because when that time comes, which I, in my heart, feel is a truth, that there will, won't be time for a cup of tea even, it's like there will be, people will know how to assist, why they are here. We've been talked about envelopes, as if we've got these envelopes in our head, and at a certain time, as if they will be opened, and in those envelopes are instructions for each person, if you like. I really feel that some people feel their envelopes have been opened, but the Federation of Light has said no, not in the way that we are speaking. We literally, I feel, will go, okay, all systems go, and each and every one of us will know exactly our individual plan to help the divine plan.
Two thoughts with that. One is, in my own channeling and looking at the future, I got the message that there are a lot of very new, powerful vibrations and frequencies, and we can feel them, but we haven't learned how to tap into them and use them, which is what you're saying about the envelopes. And the other thing that it reminds me of, when I went through a phase in my life, which was really like a year that I had to decide that I wanted to go in this direction more than anything. And it was a horrendous year. And I remember opening up this old book, and it said that when your life is difficult or dark, or it seems like it's falling apart, what you have to remember is that there are far more on your side in the unseen world. And that it's always that way. You're being held, you're being supported. It's not the way that it feels and looks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so True, Julian. I don't know how others, obviously I don't know how others are feeling in that sense, but I feel that even amongst all this craziness, that I can feel within me that my vibration has shifted up a little bit, to the point of, like, say, just on a simple thing of, like, when I'm going for a walk, I know many have been doing this for a long, long time, but for me it was quite new. It was new in the sense of a different feel about it, in that when I was passing a tree or a flower or something, I like to say hello and and all this kind of thing. But or just put my hand on over a plant and give it a zap of light, and I feel that is stronger now. The vibrations of that truth are able to be more, when I say physically felt, but literally sort of that thing of just being far more aware of our capabilities. And I just want to say about that we are aware that there is such things as teleportation or telekinesis, when you move things. There's so much we are capable of doing, but we just aren't in the right vibration to do so, I feel, and yet to remember at this point. And yet I think it's a good thing to pretend to do so that if, like an ET, when the flower is dying, and he just puts his finger there and it comes back to life. Well, if you see a plant that's looking a bit lifeless, give it some water, but then just put your hand over it and pretend to be ET, and think, I'm just going to bring you back to life. It on some level, to me, we are perfectly capable of doing that. So the more we try to convince ourselves to do all these, what other people will call wacky things, the more we're preparing ourselves for truly what we are able to do. And that there's so much,
definitely.
I think, that is to come, that we are going to surprise ourselves in absolute joy, because they're saying that even amongst all this that is turning us upside down, the strength that we are finding within ourselves, there's also going to be a great deal of joy, because we are discovering more of ourselves and finding out what we can do with this amazing light that we are.
Definitely. And I think we've all done some of these things before, and then we sort of forget about them. You're having a wonderful day and you walk through the garden and you touch the plants. The next day you think, I wonder if it's the moon phase. My goodness, they look like they're all twice as large. Well, it was your energy, but we have this strange thing where we forget what we do with our light.
Yeah. And, I know White Cloud has said before about, every tree, every blade of grass, every flower, every cloud that we pass by, they are to think and to know that they literally are there for our joy. And as we pass by, it's like they're going, hello, blossom, I am here to bring you, and if we're just aware of that, as we don't have to say hello to every blade of grass, but if we're just aware of that energy and concentrate, as you know so well, Julia, just concentrate on and focus on the joy, which is the hardest part in these times, and it's going to get even harder. But we know inside of us, we just have to keep telling yourself, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. And many people are writing in to say that they're adding their own little thing to that. They might add, I am the life, or, something that resonates, I am the gratitude. Within that saying also, there's feelings that come in for people that they choose to add. And that's absolutely, fine. You have to do what resonates and what works for you. Somebody wrote in recently actually and said that saying the I am the truth doesn't feel so that it fits in for them there, and they prefer to say I am the life. Well, if that's what they prefer, do what suits you. There's no rule about this. Just do what makes you feel good, and know in yourself the light, just to feel that we are here for this reason. We're not here as we used to think, when we were little and we're at school, and when I grow up, I'm going to do this. We're now, most of us grown up, and we're like that feeling inside of us, that knowing inside of me now that all this is going on, it makes is so strong that we are moving this planet into its higher vibration, and we're doing it right now, type thing.
And it's so wonderful to me what you're saying, that just these little moments of joy, these moments of connection with nature, these moments of just imagining that you're using your gift, those are enough to make a huge planetary change.
Absolutely.
I mean, is that not just wonderful?
I know, absolutely. And it is, I love to be meeting more and more people now, or having emails from people saying, this is just so exciting, as opposed to, I feel I want to go and kill myself. Much nicer to get the exciting emails, because people are beginning to sort of feel that inside of themselves. And that's the only explanation we can give. There is this build up inside of ourselves now. And if you're listening to this and you're not feeling it, don't worry about that, because it will come. We all go through this at different points, along the pathway, and it will come, and there will be a strength and and bubbliness and this knowing inside your mission. It will come to each and every one, because that's why each and every one is here.
That's true. We are here. When you have that joy vibration and you have that moment of connection, the universe can come in, and so much happens in those little seconds that we tend not to pay attention to. Unfortunately, and it's leaving. But it used to be that most conversations were about negativity and how to get through that. And now we're like, okay, so it's negative. How do we get to the joy? It's losing its focus, so to speak.
Yeah. And, and although we think, sometimes I am not in the mood, thank you very much, to feel joy, just not in the mood
we all
today,
have those days.
And it's just like, well, try. And if you can't, then wallow in it for a little while. There's nothing wrong with thinking I want to, put on a sad movie and just indulge in my yuckness today, because you're allowed to, because this is a world of duality, as you say. And then when you come out of that, you think, I feel even better than before I went into that. The highs and lows, as low as you can go, as high as you can go. I always think of it like that, if it should be that I feel really depressed, I think, well, it's going to be absolutely great when I feel good again, because I'm going to be feeling so high. It really, it is a world of ups and downs, truly.
It is, and both sides are good. I know some days I think I won't do anything at all, and usually the more I give into that, the more quickly I feel better again.
Yeah.
If I try to fight it, it becomes more intense.
That's
so
right.
We're almost to the end here. I wish we could talk forever, because this is so much fun. But will you tell us again, one more time, your affirmation of love and light?
Yeah. I am the love. I am the light. I am the truth. I am.
And tell us your website one time, and any of your upcoming activities, so everyone can find you.
Yep, www.blossomgoodchild.com. And on my website, as you said, Julia, there's all my channelings, and they're all in now being put in my new website from last year. They've now been put into yearly PDFs, so for you to download. It's I had such an upgrade with my new website. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. So everything can be found on there, and also to subscribe to my newsletter, because that lets people know, which you can do on my site, and it lets people know whenever there's a channeling up. And I do try to get a channeling up once a week, but sometimes it's every 10 days. But also suggesting to subscribe to the YouTube channel there, because the channelings are also then recorded by myself, and I read my part, and a man called Joe I don't know if you say Penna or Pina. I'm not really sure. He reads the voice of the Federation, and a lot of people like to listen as opposed to read. Plus, I do White Cloud videos, and he's been very strong of late. As I can't get out and about. And you can
find that on your website.
Yes, and if you just put in Blossom Goodchild YouTube, then you'll get onto one of my YouTube somewhere type of thing, which will lead you on to the others and what have you.
Okay, so thank you again, and let me thank everyone for tuning into the Power of Inspiration and Awakening show, where you can experience a higher vibration in a new state of mind. Please join me on the second and fourth Wednesdays of every month at 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Next time, we will continue our journey into this unknown time and provide techniques to help you. So have a beautiful week, and I'll see you back here next time.
Thank you for listening to the Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin, to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Join us next time as Julia takes us deeper into the memory of the moments of light where transcendence and enlightenment emerge. The memory of the jewel of consciousness is always lived within you, to tap into waves of energy and create huge changes by imagining the beauty of the vision and desires that are hidden in the heart. Learn to find your way back to nature, beauty, and your own heart, which holds the secrets of your existence and future. To discover more about Julia's adventures, animal communication, and the teachings she brings to every show, visit OneTrueSelf.com. That's OneTrueSelf.com. That's ONE, TrueSelf.com.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.